Welcome back. This is the video on the method part of our plan, which is the second part after we talk about our groups, variables, and our participants. So as mentioned in the last video, we need to describe several things in our plan: the variables, participant group, and number of participants, how we're going to collect our data, record our results, and calculate any statistics, what data displays we'll use, and possible sources of variation. So we're going to look at the second and third bullet points in this video. So once you've described your variables, groups, and participants, you need to give instructions for how you will carry out your experiment. This is the method. So this tells other researchers how you carried out your investigation so that they can repeat it and see if they get a similar outcome. And repeating experiments is really important because it tests how replicable they are. So if a repeated experiment does not give similar results to what somebody got before, we can't be confident in the first experiment's conclusions. So we can't say that, we can't rely on that experiment to give us good information. And it's important to have good information because people use experiments and apply it in the real world. For example, if you're testing a medicine on depression, if one study shows that it has a positive effect and another study repeated the same way shows that it has a negative or neutral effect, then you cannot rely on the first study and say, no, this medicine is fine, because the other study showed that it didn't work the way that it was supposed to. So it's important that our experiment has good instructions that it can be repeated so we can find out if its results are replicable. So here is an example on exercise and heart rate, which is the same example as I've used in the previous videos. And you have to be very detailed in your instructions, so that's what this is going to show. At the beginning of the 12 Mat 2i lesson, I will give the instructions for the following activity. I will teach everyone how to find their heart rate by placing 2 fingers on their neck. Now I said this because I wasn't sure whether everybody would be able to find their heart rate. So I included that to make sure that everybody could. 15 minutes into the lesson, where everyone has been sitting down, I will ask everyone in the class to find their heartbeat and then start a timer. They are to count their heartbeats until I tell them the timer is up, which is after 1 minute. They will each then tell me how many beats they counted. They will stand up and I'll start another timer. They will do star jumps for 2 minutes and then I will tell them the time is up. They will immediately find their heartbeat again and I will start another timer for 1 minute where they will count their heartbeats until the timer is up. I will record the number of beats per minute for each student on a table in Google Sheets as follows. So this is what my table will look like. Participant, so each participant written down in this list. Heart rate in beats per minute while they're sitting down here. Heart rate after star jumps, beats per minute written down here, and the difference between these two written in here. For each student, I will calculate the difference in their test results and record this in my table. The difference will be the treatment minus control. This means that if a student heart rate decreased, the difference would be negative, and if a student's heart rate increased, the difference would be positive. I will also calculate the median, lower quartile, upper quartile, max value, and minimum value of the differences column. I will draw an arrow graph and box and whisker graph with a dot plot of the differences on NZ Grapher. So there we have described what the experiment is going to look like exactly, how you're going to record your results, and how what statistics will be calculated, and what data displays will be used. And so that covers these 2 points here: how we'll collect our data, record our results, calculate statistics, and which data displays we'll use. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which is the last part of our plan, looking at sources of variation.